Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you something. How many of you are ready to break free from the same old patterns to finally take control and design a life you don't just tolerate, but one you're excited to wake up to? Raise your hands if you're ready. Here's the truth: we all want change, but let's be honest, it's not always easy, is it? We've all set goals that fizzled out, made promises to ourselves that didn't stick, and felt stuck in the same rut over and over again. Sound familiar? But today I'm here to tell you that cycle ends now. You see, change isn't about willpower alone. It's about understanding how to work with your mind, your emotions, and your habits so deeply that the change becomes a part of who you are. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're living as the best version of yourself. That's what lasting change feels like, and I promise by the end of this session, you'll not only understand how to achieve it, but you'll have the tools to make it stick. So let's dive in together, because today isn't just another seminar. Today is the first chapter of your transformation. Are you with me? Let's go. Change begins with clarity. It's the foundation of every great transformation. Without clarity, you're like a ship drifting aimlessly at sea, hoping to land somewhere better. But hope isn't a strategy. Clarity is. It's the compass that directs your energy, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. Think about a time when you felt stuck, overwhelmed, or even lost. What was missing? Most likely it was a clear vision of what you truly wanted. Many people live their lives reacting to circumstances, chasing what they think they should want: more money, a better job, a fitter body, without ever stopping to ask themselves, why? Why do I want this? What will it give me? How will it make my life better? These questions hold the key to clarity. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about connecting to it on a deeper level. It's about understanding why it matters to you. Because when your vision has meaning, when it's tied to something that stirs your heart and fuels your spirit, it stops being a wish and becomes a mission. And missions are powerful. Missions move mountains. Missions create lasting change. Let's break it down. Clarity gives you focus, and focus gives you power. When you're clear about your goal, distractions fade away. Think of a magnifying glass concentrating sunlight to start a fire. That's the power of clarity in your life. It ignites your passion, sharpens your decisions, and accelerates your progress. Without it, you scatter your energy in too many directions, and progress feels slow, frustrating, or even impossible. But clarity isn't just about big goals, it's about specifics. Saying, I want to be healthy is vague. But saying, I want to lose 15 pounds in 90 days so I can feel more energetic, confident, and strong for my kids is powerful. See the difference. The second version paints a vivid picture. It gives your brain a clear target to aim for, and more importantly, a compelling reason to keep going. Here's the kicker: clarity doesn't just shape your vision, it reshapes your identity. When you get crystal clear about what you want, you begin to act as the person who has already achieved it. You align your decisions, your habits, and even your emotions with your desired outcome. It's no longer just a goal on a piece of paper, it becomes a part of who you are. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I'm not sure what I want? That's okay. Start by asking yourself better questions. What excites you? What do you want to create, contribute, or experience in your life? What's one thing you'd pursue if you knew you couldn't fail? These questions will start to reveal the answers buried within you. Remember, this clarity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, change will feel like a struggle. With it, you gain the certainty, confidence, and courage to take control of your life. Because when you know what you want, you don't just dream of change, you create it. Lasting change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. This simple truth holds immense power. And it's the key to breaking through barriers that have held you back for years. The reason so many people fail to change isn't because they lack the ability, but because they haven't found the leverage to make change non-negotiable. Leverage is about finding the emotional fuel to shift from I should change to I must change. Think about it. How many times have you said, I really should start eating healthier, or I need to start saving money, but nothing changed? The problem isn't the goal, it's the lack of urgency, the absence of leverage to drive you forward. Leverage transforms vague desires into unstoppable momentum. So what is leverage really? It's the emotional connection between your current pain and the compelling pleasure of your desired future. It's the moment when staying in your comfort zone feels unbearable because you realize the cost of inaction. It's when you say, enough is enough, I can't live like this anymore, and you decide to step up and take control. Let's take an example. Imagine someone struggling with their health. They've been told for years to lose weight, eat better, and exercise, but nothing sticks. Then one day they visit their doctor and hear the words, if you don't change now, you won't be around to see your kids grow up. Suddenly the stakes are real. The pain of continuing down the same path outweighs the discomfort of making a change. That's leverage. It's not about fear, it's about truth. It's about facing the consequences of staying the same and realizing that the cost is simply too high. But leverage doesn't have to come from a moment of crisis. You can create it intentionally. Start by asking yourself, what will happen if I don't change? What will my life look like in a year, 5 years, or even 10 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? How will it affect my relationships, my health, my happiness? Get specific. Feel the weight of inaction. Then flip the script and ask, what will my life look like if I do change? Picture the freedom, the joy, and the pride you'll feel. Make that vision so vivid, so compelling, that it pulls you forward. Leverage also comes from linking your change to something bigger than yourself. When your actions are tied to a purpose, your family, your legacy, your contribution to the world, the stakes rise, and so does your determination. It's no longer about temporary discomfort, it's about honoring what matters most to you. The beauty of leverage is that it overrides fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, they all pale in comparison to the clarity and urgency leverage provides. Once you have it, change stops feeling like an option and becomes a necessity. Leverage isn't magic, but it is transformative. When you tap into it, you'll find that the limitations that once held you back lose their grip. You'll gain the strength to push forward no matter how difficult the path may seem. Because when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Lasting change requires more than just willpower. It requires understanding the science of conditioning, the way our behaviors and habits are wired in our brains. Our lives are shaped by the actions we repeat over and over, often without even realizing it. From the moment we wake up, we are running on autopilot, repeating patterns that we have conditioned ourselves to follow. But here's the good news: if you can understand how these patterns work, you can change them. At the core of conditioning is the simple fact that the brain is designed to conserve energy. It likes efficiency. This is why we fall into routines. Our brain loves habits because they allow us to go through life without using up too much mental energy. But here's the catch: while routines can serve us, they can also trap us. If you've ever found yourself stuck in a cycle of unhealthy behaviors, procrastination, or limiting beliefs, it's because your brain has conditioned itself to think, feel, and act in a certain way. The good news is that conditioning works both ways. You can rewire your brain to create the habits that will support your goals. The first step in changing your conditioning is to recognize the patterns that are no longer serving you. Ask yourself, what do I do on a daily basis that isn't helping me grow or move forward? Is it checking social media first thing in the morning? Is it procrastinating on important tasks? Is it negative self-talk that holds you back? Identifying these habits is the first key to breaking them. Once you're aware of the behaviors you want to change, the next step is replacing them with more empowering ones. But here's the crucial part: change doesn't happen by just wishing for it or trying to force new habits into your life. It happens when you take small, consistent actions that gradually train your brain to shift. Think of conditioning like training a muscle. Just as you can't build strength in the gym by lifting weights once, you can't change a habit overnight. You have to repetitively practice the new behavior until it becomes automatic. For example, if you want to wake up earlier, it's not enough to set an alarm and expect that to magically change your life. You have to condition yourself to feel energized when you wake up. That might mean gradually shifting your bedtime, creating a morning routine you enjoy, or finding a deeper reason for waking up early, something that makes the behavior feel rewarding. The more you repeat the new action, the more your brain creates new neural pathways that make it easier to continue the habit. Over time, the new behavior will feel just as automatic as the old one. One of the most powerful ways to condition new behaviors is through emotional connection. The brain doesn't just respond to repetition, it responds to feelings. When you emotionally associate a new habit with something you value deeply like health, success, or fulfillment, it makes the new behavior far more compelling. Emotion is the glue that binds new habits to lasting change. But this process isn't just about creating new habits, it's about shifting your entire identity. The most powerful change comes when you stop identifying with the person who used to make excuses or procrastinate and begin to see yourself as someone who takes consistent, intentional action. When you believe you are someone who takes care of their health, shows up for their goals, or contributes to others, your actions align with that belief. You're no longer fighting against yourself, you're living in harmony with the new identity you've created. Conditioning isn't something that happens once and then fades away. It's a lifelong process of growth and evolution. But by understanding the science behind it, you can harness the power of your brain to make lasting change. The key is to be patient, consistent, and purposeful. With time, you'll notice that the behaviors that once held you back are replaced with actions that move you closer to the life you desire. And that's the true power of conditioning, the ability to become the person you've always wanted to be. When it comes to creating lasting change, one of the most overlooked but essential factors is emotion. It's not enough to want change, you must feel it deeply. Emotion is the fuel that powers action and keeps you moving forward when obstacles arise. Think about it: when you're excited, motivated, or inspired, you're more likely to take action. When you connect to an emotion, your brain releases the chemicals needed to propel you into action. Without this emotional connection, even the best strategies or plans will fall short. Change is not a logical process, it's an emotional one. If you've ever struggled to stick to a New Year's resolution or failed to follow through on a goal, it's likely because the emotion behind it wasn't strong enough to keep you committed. You might have had the logical plan, but without a compelling emotional reason, it lacked the power to make a real, lasting impact. Emotion doesn't just motivate you, it also provides clarity about what matters most in your life. When you connect with an emotional trigger, it helps you define your why. Your why is the driving force behind your desire to change, the reason you get up every day and pursue something greater. When you know why you want to change, the how becomes easier to figure out. It's the difference between achieving something because you have to versus achieving it because you want to. Let's take a closer look at why emotion is so powerful. Your brain is wired to prioritize emotions over logic because emotions help you survive. Thousands of years ago, your brain's emotional center helped you react quickly to dangers like a predator. In the modern world, this survival instinct translates into something equally powerful: the ability to make decisions based on how something makes you feel. For example, when you feel fear or anxiety about staying where you are in life, that emotion can propel you to take action. Alternatively, when you feel the excitement and joy of reaching a goal, that emotional high can propel you to keep going. What makes this even more powerful is that emotion is also contagious. The people around you can influence your emotional state. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it can drain your energy and weaken your resolve. However, when you surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, their emotions can trigger your own drive to succeed. It's why finding a community or a support system can make all the difference. Having people around you who share your vision, encourage your growth, and celebrate your wins helps you feel more motivated, resilient, and committed to your change. So how can you create an emotional trigger that will keep you on track? It starts with visualizing what you want in vivid detail. When you connect emotionally to the outcome, you tap into the deep, primal energy that fuels action. Think about what you'll feel when you achieve your goal. What will your life look like? How will you feel about yourself? How will others see you? When you tie your vision to a powerful emotional experience, it gives you something to work toward every single day. But it doesn't stop there. The emotional trigger that drives change must also be connected to the pain of not changing. When the pain of staying where you are becomes more intense than the discomfort of change, you'll find yourself moving forward with unstoppable force. This emotional push and pull between the joy of change and the pain of inaction creates an internal drive that forces you to take consistent action. Ultimately, the emotional trigger is what keeps you going when things get tough. It's what turns a fleeting desire into a lasting commitment. When you can tap into the emotions that drive you, whether it's love, fear, excitement, or pride, you unlock the energy to break through any barrier and create lasting, transformative change. One of the most common reasons people fail to create lasting change is that they don't take enough action. We live in a world full of information, and it's easy to get trapped in the cycle of learning without doing. We attend seminars, read books, watch motivational videos, and think we're moving forward. But here's the truth: action is the bridge between knowledge and results. No amount of planning, strategizing, or learning will create the change you desire until you take massive action. It's easy to get caught up in analysis paralysis, wondering whether you're making the right decision, waiting for the perfect time, or holding off until you have all the information. But the most successful people aren't waiting for everything to be perfect. They're moving forward in spite of uncertainty, fear, or imperfections. They know that it's not the perfect plan that gets results, it's the consistent, persistent action that leads to progress. This is where the idea of the massive action formula comes into play. Massive action means taking large, bold steps toward your goals, no matter how daunting they seem. It's about doing something every single day that moves you forward, even when you don't feel like it. Small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. And the best part, massive action can be taken immediately. You don't need to wait for the right time or for everything to be aligned. Start now. Taking massive action doesn't mean you have to reinvent the wheel or create something from scratch. It's about taking the first step, then the next, and the next. For instance, if you want to lose weight, massive action isn't about waiting for the perfect diet plan or the ideal workout routine. It's about getting up and moving your body, making healthier food choices, and committing to those decisions every single day. The more you act, the more momentum you build. And that momentum fuels your next steps. Over time, your actions become habits, and habits become the foundation of lasting change. The secret to taking massive action is eliminating excuses. How many times have you heard yourself say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I don't have time"? These are just excuses keeping you stuck. When you decide to take massive action, you commit to moving past those excuses and finding a way to make it happen. Massive action requires a shift in mindset, a shift from "I'll try" to "I will." It's about pushing through resistance and doing the things that move you closer to your goals, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. Massive action is also about embracing failure as part of the process. When you take bold action, you're going to face setbacks, mistakes, and challenges along the way. But here's the thing: those challenges are opportunities. They are feedback. Every failure is a lesson in what works and what doesn't, and it helps you refine your strategy. The key is to stay persistent, learn from each setback, and keep moving forward. The most successful people in the world didn't reach their goals by avoiding failure. They reached them by using failure as fuel for their next massive action. It's not enough to be busy or active. You need to take focused, intentional action that is aligned with your goals. You can have a million ideas, but without massive action, they will remain just that, ideas. Taking consistent, massive action turns those ideas into reality. The results you get are directly proportional to the effort you put in. The more action you take, the faster you'll reach your desired outcome. Massive action is the catalyst for change. It's the thing that transforms dreams into tangible achievements. It's the fuel that propels you from intention to manifestation. And the best part, the moment you commit to taking massive action, you instantly increase your chances of success because you stop waiting for perfection and start moving toward your goals with everything you've got. The more you act, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the closer you get to becoming the person you've always wanted to be. At the heart of lasting change lies one profound truth: who you are defines what you do. Change isn't just about modifying your behavior for a short time, it's about transforming the very identity you hold about yourself. It's easy to focus on external goals, losing weight, making more money, or gaining recognition. But unless your identity shifts to align with those goals, the change won't be sustainable. True, lasting transformation comes when you no longer view yourself as someone who struggles with your goals, but as someone who embodies the change you seek. Think about it: every action you take, every habit you form, and every decision you make is based on your identity. If you see yourself as someone who is unhealthy, Your actions will reflect that. You will make choices that support that identity, like skipping workouts or indulging in unhealthy food. However, when you shift your identity to someone who is healthy, your choices automatically align with that. You start to make decisions that support your health, like choosing nutritious foods, working out regularly, and getting enough sleep. This shift in identity goes beyond mere wishful thinking. It's a powerful subconscious transformation. When you see yourself as a successful entrepreneur, for example, you begin to make decisions like one, investing time and resources into growing your business, seeking opportunities, and taking risks that align with the life of a business owner. On the other hand, if you don't identify as a leader, you will hesitate, second-guess your abilities, and shy away from opportunities that require you to step up. But identity doesn't just shape what you do, it also shapes how you do it. When you identify as someone who excels in a certain area, you approach challenges with confidence and persistence. You no longer see failure as something that defines you, but as a stepping stone that helps you grow. For instance, an athlete doesn't just practice, they train with the mindset that they are an elite performer. Their entire routine, from their diet to their mindset, is centered around who they are as an athlete. Shifting your identity may sound like a monumental task, but it's actually a process that begins with small, deliberate changes in your thinking and actions. The first step is deciding who you want to be. Who do you want to become? If you want to be a confident public speaker, start thinking of yourself as someone who is comfortable in front of an audience. If you want to be financially successful, begin viewing yourself as someone who makes smart financial decisions. This is where the power of affirmation and visualization comes into play. By repeatedly affirming the person you want to become and visualizing yourself as that person, you begin to internalize the belief that you are capable of embodying that identity. The next step is aligning your actions with that new identity. This is where consistency comes into play. If you're working on becoming a more disciplined individual, you can't just wait for motivation to strike. You need to act as someone who is already disciplined. Take actions that align with your new identity every single day, even when it feels difficult. Over time, these actions will become habits, and the more you act in alignment with your desired identity, the more natural it will feel. Eventually, it will no longer feel like an effort. It will simply be who you are. The key here is to remember that you don't have to be perfect to embody a new identity. In fact, perfection is the enemy of progress. The process is about small, consistent changes that gradually build over time. It's about adopting the belief that you are becoming this person, and each action you take strengthens that belief. When your identity shifts, your reality shifts. As you begin to live in alignment with the person you want to be, you will start to notice profound changes in every area of your life. The key to lasting change lies in this: when you believe you are capable of success, growth, and transformation, your actions will inevitably follow. Shift your identity and the external results will follow. This is the true power of identity, the foundation of all lasting change.